Nam yo ho ning ge ko 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 nam yo ho ning ge.
Hi, I'm Margaret, and this is the website where we apply Buddhist philosophy and practice to the issues and concerns of everyday life. Today, our topic is going to be, is there any right way to chant? In this vlog, we're going to discuss the different issues that can come up when chanting for a goal. And this happened as a result of two questions that I received in the last couple of weeks. The first question, how should you chant for a longer period of time, all at once or break it up? Just to say, first, there are no shoulds here. Each of us chants in a way that's comfortable for us. Nichiren Daishonin didn't give advice on how to chant. So when it comes to chanting for longer periods of time, you can always break it up into shorter periods if you're more comfortable. The only thing is to chant until you feel satisfied, whether you break it up into shorter periods or do it in longer ones. The second question is a little more complicated. I've had conflicting advice about how to chant for a goal. Should I set deadlines or just chant for a goal but let the universe fill in the details and deliver my goal? In other words, should I chant with a detailed goal and a deadline or just let the universe do its job? Some people don't chant for goals at all and seem satisfied with their chanting. When thinking about whether or not to chant for goals, it's important to remember that no chanting is ever wasted. Even without chanting for a goal, your life will still take an upward direction. That being said, I personally feel that if you want to get something done, the chanting for a specific detailed goal makes the process move along faster. If you want the universe to know you're serious, you can always set a deadline, a drop-dead date, when you want the goal to be accomplished. Setting a deadline can work quite well if you can maintain your positive mindset and remain focused on the goal no matter what appears to be happening. It's really easy to fall off track when, number one, obstacles appear, or number two, it looks as though your goal can't possibly be achieved in the length of time you've set. Don't let yourself be derailed. You might fall into looking at your fears rather than at your end goal, or you might find yourself doubting the whole process. If this happens, your fundamental darkness has taken over and hidden your awareness of your Buddha nature, your universal connection. And if you fall into the abyss of doubt, then achieving the goal within your time frame might not happen. Remember that law of oneness of self and environment? Our outer environment comes from within us to manifest in the outside world. So if you're having doubts, ask yourself, am I creating what I want or what I don't want? Stay steadfast with your responsibility, which is to keep your mind focused on your goal. And then just let the universe do its job of finding the way to accomplish it and make it happen. This means to let go of trying to force the goal to happen or trying to control the process, while at the same time remaining determined that it will happen. You can set a detailed goal and still let the universe do its job. There is absolutely no conflict here. The detailed goal is your end goal. How it gets worked out is the job of the universe. Your only responsibility is to stay focused on the end goal and not worry about how it's going to happen. Faith becomes very important when chanting for a goal. Because when chanting for a goal, it's as though you can only see a certain distance in front of you. Then you come to a spot where you can't see any further. Just remember that when you get to that corner, the next section of the path will come into view. Faith is needed at times like this to keep your positive focus and to keep moving forward, no matter how things appear. If your faith wavers and you try to control the process, You can interfere with the universe doing its work. So find supports to remain positive. Sometimes this means setting up a support system of people to chant with so you'll remain positive. And find someone you can go to who can help you clear up doubts before you start to actually dwell on them. Then take action. Another important part of the process is to take action on what comes to you around your goal. Just chanting about it alone won't work. Take action on ideas that come to you. You never know what the results of those actions will be, but the universe works through each of us as we take action. Since you don't know how your goal is going to come about, pay attention to the ideas that come to you and follow through with them. Again, chanting with a support group can help you find the courage to take the necessary actions. Now, let's look at Diane's experience and see how she used these principles to achieve a very detailed goal with a drop-dead date. Diane needed to manifest a job within 30 days. And to top it off, she had 5 very specific things she wanted to have happen when she achieved her goal. 1, she wanted to find work within 10 minutes from her home. 2, she wanted her workplace to be situated so she could drive against Dallas rush hour traffic. 3, she wanted a $30,000 annual salary. 4, she wanted full family medical. And 5, to top it off, she wanted full reimbursement to get her 4-year bachelor's degree. This could not be a more detailed and specific goal. And with a 30-day deadline yet, how many of you would say that this goal was unrealistic and not possible? Many would. Diane sprang into action. She sent out resumes. She talked to the temp people to provide work to tide her over. She went to interviews. She called back everybody who called her. The days passed as she was getting closer and closer to that 30-day deadline. As she got closer, she began to guard against falling into doubt. She committed to chanting an hour a day, and she developed a support system of people to chant with as often as possible. One day, she received a call from a temp agency. She ignored this call as she was looking for a full-time job. Then something very unusual happened. The temp agency called a second time. As she said to me, this never happens, that a temp agency calls you twice. A warning signal went off, and I realized I had to return that call. To her great surprise, the temp agency presented her with a full-time job possibility. Unheard of. Needless to say, she called up and called the company. And after an interview and negotiation, she received a job offer which included all the criteria she had specified. The offer arrived at noon on her drop-dead day, the 30th day. 4 years later, she graduated with her bachelor's. During that 4 years, she had worked full-time and taken responsibility in that organization. I think it's just a marvelous experience. In summary, we discussed 2 questions today. The first question asked how you should chant for longer periods. Do you have to do it all at once, and can you break it up? And the answer was you can do it either way, but to chant until you feel satisfied. And the second question was, should I set a detailed goal or just let the universe fill in the details and do the work? The answer was that some people don't chant for goals at all, and their lives still improve, so no chanting is ever wasted. But you can also set detailed goals as your end goal and let the universe do the work of figuring out how it's going to come about. It has a caveat. You do have to let go of control and trying to force a goal to happen. But still, maintain the determination that it will happen. We showed this through Diane's experience. Here are some other blogs you might find interesting. The first, Faith Slipped, 6 Ways to Get Back on Track. The second, Know the Difference Between a Determination and Forcing Through a Goal. The third, Here's a Method to Handle Fears that Arise While Chanting. For other kinds of chanting questions, refer to my book, Stepping Stones, A Guide to Buddhist Practice. You can get this on this website or through Amazon. Now, I want to hear from you. I'd love to receive some of your experiences with the lessons you learned from them. Just to let you know, if I use an experience on my blog, I always change the name. Or, if you'd like, we could have you be on the blog too. And as always, send me comments and thoughts. I'm always interested to hear what you think. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.